Good morning, world. This is Mel Gill. Be prepared. Your life is going to change. Just by meeting me, you are going to change. I am going to change because I'm meeting you.
Hi, my name is Dr. Mel Gill. I'm talking to you right now from the middle of Manila, Philippines. I'm here running a series of seminars, and we're actually bringing the Meta Secrets to the whole world. Philippines is a great country. We're talking about several 100 million people all crowded in a series of 7,000 islands. Now, can you imagine this? What is the thing that brings them all together?
Sometimes in life, we come up with the right answers, but by accident. The thinking behind them is wrong, but the answers are correct. Sometimes we launch on our careers by accident. Sometimes we get into relationships by accident. And then we're stuck with them the rest of our lives. Those careers, those relationships, and perhaps even the things we do, and perhaps even this thing we call a rut. How many people would dramatically change their lives today if I told you that I'm not a doctor of psychology, I'm a doctor of medicine, and I walked around the room and I've looked at your eyes and you've got a rare disease, people. This disease is called weak-titis. You're all gonna die in exactly 1 week from now. This is my diagnosis as a doctor of medicine. Thank God I'm not, right? 1 week from now, next Saturday, at exactly this time, whatever time this is right now, you are going to drop dead. No symptoms, nothing. You're just gonna drop dead. What would you do differently tomorrow? What would you do differently? How many people would quit their jobs? How many people would spend more time with the people they love? How many people would go out there and do all those things that they said tomorrow I'll do it, next year I'll do it. Maybe when I have enough money, enough time, enough credentials, enough knowledge. How many people would do all those things? Let's see a show of hands. Fantastic, good for you. You don't have that much time. You don't. We're all on a path. We're in a path from point A to point B. And sometimes along the way, most of us don't ask for directions. Those of you men in the crowd, you know exactly what I mean. I'll find the way, no problem. 1.5 hours later, when the party is over, well, we're somewhere in Chua Chu Kang when it's supposed to be in Yo Chu Kang. So who knows? So ask for directions is what I ask people to do. All the time, ask for directions. And sometimes the directions take a weird turn.
Sometimes when people are banded behind a flag, or they're banded behind a religion, or they're banded behind an idea, they can make something happen. And what do I do around the world? Well, actually, I teach people to band themselves around a singular idea, that you can make your dreams happen. And you can make it happen just by realizing that the mind is the most powerful organ in your body.
Today, we're going to talk about how the brain responds to one thing. All of life is all about fun. It's all about fun. If you're working at a job and it's no fun, why the hell are you doing that? If you're in a relationship and you're not having fun, why are you in it? If you are doing whatever it is you are supposed to be doing, writing a book, becoming famous, making money, and it's no fun, why are you doing it? It's the thought of future fun, correct? Maybe if I carried on this much longer, maybe if I push it one step further, maybe if I stand that person who's so toxic in my office, probably the boss mostly, and the person who puts me down every day, that wife, that husband, that boyfriend, that girlfriend, that uncle, that aunt, that nephew, that niece, whoever that person is, maybe if I stand it one more day, they'll change. Bad news, people. They're not going to change. They're going to stay the way they are. What will change, though, is you. What can change is how you respond to all of that. And I respond to everybody the same way Tweety Bird responds to everyone. And what's the famous line that comes out of this character's mouth? I thought I saw a putty tat. And then he answers, thank you. That's exactly what he does. That's exactly what he does. You know, sometimes we launch back into our childhood and we wonder, when we were younger, things were easier. We watched cartoons, we had fun, things were simpler, not so complex. That person I live with right now, oh my God, that person is so complex. That person I work for right now, oh my God, such a dangerous animal. I can't say certain things because if I do, I'll be in trouble. I'll lose that money I've been getting every week or every month. We are so afraid of losing the things that we depend on. But one of the things we forget is that we don't have much time.
It is not only the biggest organ in your body, it's the most powerful. Whatever you think about, whatever you decide is possible, well, that is the thing that will happen in your life.
If you've hung around children, you know something about them. They are creative thinkers. One time, I went up to a creativity program for chief executives of a major company here. I won't mention their name because they're public listed and you might sell shares. Their top level senior management. We were doing a creativity decision-making skill program. And I drew a little dot. I literally put a little dot, kind of like this on the board. And I said, what is this? And they go, you know, like chief executive said, that's a dot. I know the answer. That's a dot. I've been to school, university, twice. I've been to university. I know it's a dot. What else? They all went, that's a dot. 10 minutes, I kept pounding them. What else? Come on, what else? Wake up, what else? It's a dot! At the end of the whole thing, they were screaming their heads off. It's a dot! That day, in the afternoon, I went to a kindergarten. 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, because I do programs with them too. They're no different from CEOs, actually. I put this dot on the screen and I asked them, on the board, and I asked them, what is that? First answer, yes, it's a dot. What else? It's the island of Singapore with no other islands around it. Oh, great. What else? It's the top of my father's head from 10 stories up. What else? It's a bug that you squish and it's got black. Answers 54 different answers kept coming forth from these kids because they were fresh, they were open, they saw possibilities. They were young, vibrant. Wow. Imagine having a vibrant brain. Imagine being alive to possibilities, alive to relationships, alive to people, alive to solutions to the problems we usually surround ourselves with and we usually create, actually. You'll see at the end of the hour how exactly we create problems.
So why do I talk to people about it? Because sometimes it's not something that people don't know. They know this already. All I'm doing is giving them some techniques, some ideas, some ways in which they can improve. That's what it's all about.
The brain is absorbing information at 2 million bits per second. What an awesome computer. I have trouble trying to realize that. 2 million bits a second. When the 2 million bits of information come to us and we've been taught a system in which to accept it, it starts to see everything within the system and within logical sequences. We start to package it. And sometimes the packaging is wrong. It can fool you into thinking things are a certain way when you don't even know they are that way. Because we've been taught to think one way instead of creatively like children, accept life like kids, we think like staid adults. Hey, I've got degrees that say I can't change. That's what a PhD stands for, permanent head damage, by the way. Just in case you want to know. Do you want to know how your brain has been trained one way? Help me solve a problem. I've been trying to figure this out for a long time. I have a friend. His name is Johnny. One day when Johnny was home, a burglar broke into the house and he started to steal everything in sight that was valuable. Gold, silver, jewelry, cash, everything. Put it into a sack, put it in his shoulder, and just as he was about to walk out the same window that he broke into, he made eye contact with my friend Johnny and then proceeded to walk anyway. Why didn't my friend Johnny stop the burglar? Fear? Good answer, I like that. What else? The real reason. The burglar is Johnny. We're actually they were two separate people, but I like your way of thinking. Johnny is blind. Well, Johnny was sighted, but I like the way you're expanding your consciousness right now. Come on, people, open up. Dot on the wall, dot on the wall, dot on the wall. Open up. Johnny's looking at the mirror. Good answer. I like that. That's different thinking. But there were two people, separate. It's a photo. I try to make friends with real people. Photos, I left that behind a while ago. But good answer. I like that. I like that. I like that. It's somebody Johnny knows. Hey, long time no see, come steal this. You know, when you were here the last time you sold that, you know, hey, you should try this. I like that. I like your thinking. A man with a mission. Insurance people, avoid that table. Good. I like your thinking. That's good. We're breaking out. You see the difference, the shift in consciousness right now? Do it. Johnny was 2 years old. You see, what fooled you was the fact that I said, my friend Johnny. And automatically your brain assumes that he's the same age as me. And that's how your brain is. It assumes that there are no solutions when there are solutions. We're always finding solutions. It's just that at that moment, we can't see them. We can't find them. We can't sense them. And we say, I'm lost. Most people kill themselves for that reason. Most people find themselves in dead-end situations because of that reason. Sometimes we need to take a shift, and the shift has to take this form. How about a form in consciousness? How about instead of going directly from point A to point C, we have to make an alternate route. We have to change something higher up.
To wake up every day with an idea that there is a possibility of success. To wake up every day realizing that there is more to life than simply the 9-to-5 existence that you live, more to life than what it is that you thought was possible because your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your uncle told you you can't amount to much, that this is all you will ever have.
Some of us have this preconception that wealth, happiness, prosperity is meant for everybody else except us. We build this barrier in our head. It's good for them, they work hard. It's good for them, they have connections. It's good for them, they have this thing called guanxi, relationship. That's what business is all about. And boy, have I discovered that. But if you have a good attitude about yourself, your personal self-esteem, then everything belongs to you. And today I'm going to show you how everything does belong to you, people. We have this attitude. Yes, 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 but there's the but wall. You're on this thing going down. You're on this hill going down. You say, yes, yes, and I can motivate you, and you will. In the next 15, 20 minutes, you'll be screaming off your tables. But is that all there is? You get motivated, you go out there, and all of you are screaming down the escalator, yes, yes, good, I can do it. I can make it happen. I am Anthony Robb. Are you? And then you go down and you say at the bottom of the escalator, but you know there are problems. Then your friends say, yeah, we got a problem. Nobody's business but mine. But then you say, yeah, but you know, I have this house to take care of. I have this mortgage to take care of. I've got the car. I've got this job. I've got all this tasks and assignments to do. I've got this limited budget. Yes, but how many of us have too many buts in our life? We like to remove them. Or too much but. That's meant a different way, but thank you for answering. Then they point to these people, the strange people in the night. They say if you work hard, you'll become wealthy. They say money makes money. They say that if you grease the right palms, you get the right flow. They say that if you go out there and sell, that's the only way you'll make money. They say that if you're a bastard in business, you are successful. They say all these things. Interesting, aren't they? Aren't they? Who the hell are they? Everybody, whenever they want to make a personal point, does exactly what I teach them to do. Point to they. They say that if you have breakfast in the morning, you become stupid the rest of the day. Really? Aha, that explains everything. You know? They say if you have too much breakfast in the morning, you become sluggish and you don't want to go out and meet people because you're afraid you might burp. Hi, how are you? My name is... Is that why we never met each other? Here is a huge opportunity to network, to get to know people. Here's a huge opportunity for you, those of you looking for new jobs, to find a new job, a new employer, or a new employee. Reverse. Are you doing that? What stopped you today? What is that thing that stopped you? Ask yourself this. I'm here to raise questions, perhaps give you answers. But these are the answers. If you keep on doing all the things you've always been doing, you will always get what you've always been getting. If you keep on doing all the things you've always done, you are going to get all the things you have got to this point. Something needs to change. Insanity, my profession. Insanity is expecting things to change while you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. Expecting people to change when your response to them is the same over and over again. Somebody insults you. What's your first response? Take off your shirt and say, come on, let's do. Show me.
Your uncle told you you can't amount to much, that this is all you will ever have. Well, it's time to break out of those little ruts, don't you agree? And it's time to understand what it is inside, that subtle shift that you need to make to be able to make a major shift in your life. And that's what I will be doing for you. My name is Dr. Mel Gill, talking to you from the Philippines. Next stop is Singapore. We'll talk to you then.
You got to change something, people. What shall we change today? I got an idea. Maybe you can help me with it. We have this thing called time. We seem to have a lot of it. Most of us are walking around as if we've got lots and lots and lots of time. It starts from the year, but the year collects because of the month because of days, hours, minutes, seconds, and then we're left with nothing but now. How about children? They seem so happy, and wouldn't you like to be as happy as a child? Your children or other people's children? Or the children you thought you never had, but really they're yours? Those children live in the now. They live in now. They don't care about tomorrow. They don't build grudges. In fact, when you spank a child, amazing thing happens. Within an hour, they forget that you spanked them, and they're running up to you and giving you a big hug. You try to do that to your wife or your husband. You try. What's going to happen is, last time you hit me on the shoulder, boom, like that, I still remember, it hurts. You forgot my birthday. You forgot our anniversary. Don't worry. No, I haven't kept it in mind. No, it's all right. When a woman says it's all right and they look down, you're in trouble. Because where they're looking down is where they want you to be. It's all right. It's okay. Really. I'm going to get you back somehow. And that's how they are. Isn't that funny? People don't say what they mean. How about saying, I am so hurt? Isn't our relationship so important to you that you would want to remember? And then you come up with these brilliant excuses. The stock market crashed. You know, men, you're smiling and laughing right now. You know exactly what I mean. You're brilliant. You're creative. Men are so creative with excuses. You ask them to solve simple problems like Johnny, they can't. When they're caught red-handed doing all the things they're not supposed to do, well, hey, their brains go into overdrive and they come up with great excuses. Ladies, you know exactly what I mean. Your men are brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So now we're forced to realize that there is no other moment that's important to us except now. What can you do now? It doesn't matter if you walk up to somebody, give them a compliment, or even meet them and say, hi, hello, my name is Mel Gill. I just want to say hello. Are you afraid they might reject you? How many people are afraid of rejection there? Good. Good. Those people who are afraid of rejection, I'm going to work on you, by the way. If your hands are not up, I'm going to ask you to come up. I said to Eugene, I'm going to get 2 people in here to give up a public performance, a talk. You could sing something also. So those with the hands down, please, you're helping me with the volunteer situation. No, please, really, you are helping me. So again, one more time, how many people here, if I give you an opportunity to become children again, will take it right now? Good, fantastic, good. I thank you for volunteering. Come on up here. Reverse psychology, it works all the time. Maybe if I put up my hand this time, he won't pick me and he'll pick the people who are not putting up their hands. Whoa!